And I think it invites us to be incredibly personal, that we are part of our lineage. And it also hopefully invites us to realize that in some ways, none of this is personal, to just release a little bit our ego identification and have that love for being alive, that all of us who are alive are going through loads of experience, some of which are traumatic and that we suffer through, and some of which are so joyful and inspiring. So yeah, we are very personal and also transpersonal or beyond personal. Everything that we're saying there about the genes and the lineage is uniquely us and uniquely everybody. And I think this will be a little late by the time this podcast is produced, but we just did a podcast about Elvis Presley. That's the current episode that's out right now. And that is a great episode in terms of a lot of success and a lot of drive to produce. So an incredible amount of output from someone in 42 years of life. And at the same time, as a lot of indicators for success, there's a lot of indicators for suffering as well. These really the dual indicators for enormous success and productivity, but also for people pleasing, actually. And I wouldn't normally put that term, but very much giving a lot, feeling responsible for others and wanting to give is perhaps a way to describe it, which in some ways then disrespects the self. So the self gets worn out because of all of this. So anyway, beautiful chart to look at. Great podcast episode if you have time. But from that, we're going to do what I call a jam, where we get other astrologers together and we just sort of jam about the charts. We bounce ideas off each other about the D12 Varga. And the D12 Varga chart is looking at your lineage, your heritage that you've inherited karmically from your parents that's flowing through your chart. And in this case, we've got Elvis, very famous and dying very young. Then very recently, his daughter, Lisa Marie, has just died, also very young. And her son, Benjamin, died very young too. So we're going to take the opportunity to look at the D12 from Elvis, Lisa Marie, and Benjamin Keogh and see what stories or what insights are being passed through these different Varga charts because of what you're talking about, that we're not existing freely. We have got a whole heritage that is imparted to us through our physical DNA, but also through the emotional traumas that have shaped each of those people that have built the people that have built the people that built us, that we've built into the people that are going to go on in our future. So it's fascinating. And when you see this pattern of early death in these 3 generations, I'm really inspired to go and have a look at that, because I have in my own 3 generations, I have a suicide in my grandfather's parents, my grandfather's spouse, and one of his grandchildren. Yeah, so we have a suicide kind of heritage or something going through the D12s there as well. Maybe that's what makes me fascinated about it. So yeah, astrology is just amazing.